He's got to be a little bit careful with this return safety, Ken. He decides to play in with a bit of check side. Well, played another shot completely, and he'd like to have that one again. One thing he had to avoid there was double kiss.
Yes, he just caught the jaw, the far jaw, didn't he, the corner. St. John, the double kiss, so first chance, the big Aussie. Said before the interval, tough and the Australian sports stars are. The Australian Rugby League team actually won the World Cup this morning against England. 6 points to 0.
Well, at one point that was looking distinctly unpromising, that split, but there's a couple of options for Neil now. One of which is a red in the middle pocket if he wants it. And over the left corner is possible as well, so one good pot. Positional play away from a very good chance here.
Yeah, the way these reds are sitting. Next couple of shots are massive. Oh, that was good.
10.
That was good.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Alan, his cue action is absolutely bolt straight, and those shots are just made to look effortless. He's right through the middle of the cue ball, as straight as you like, and it's tough to do.
Yeah. 15.
Something else actually that this season, talking about conditions, the cushions have been really good, John. They've not been bouncing the way they were maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago, where it gives you this type of little shot. I mean, it looks a nothing shot, but it gives you confidence that you can hit it properly and not lose the cue ball.
Do you know why, Alan? Why has it improved?
16.
Not really. No, I must be honest. But it's been a feature this season. I think, again, going back to the social media thing, I think when there are problems, you hear players maybe complaining about tables misbehaving, but there's not been any of that this season, which we hope stays the same.
I'm just wondering whether, because the boys are all using that new chalk that apparently doesn't give you any kicks, I'm just wondering whether because it doesn't seem to rest on the table or the cushions, maybe that's helping. I don't know, but it's good. If all you want is consistency,
24.
you just want to be on it to know exactly how the ball is going to come off the cushion, and if the tables are doing a job, then great. Much has been made about this new chalk, Alan. Are you using it? Are you an advocate?
I do have one piece of it in my cue case, but I've not started using it as yet. I think I probably will. The only thing about I've heard reports that a lot of players are miscuing
31.
more than they ever would, so that is a concern. But it definitely takes away the chalk marks. Why, I don't know, but it does.
32.
Kicks, I mean, you still get the odd bad contact, but I think they do reduce the kick count.
Meanwhile, Neil Robertson's taken these brilliantly well. I mentioned in the frame
39.
before the interval that brown that Ken missed, would it change the course of this match? Hope it doesn't, but at the moment it's looking very promising for Neil. There's another one of those shots you were on about where players were getting pings off the cushion where the cue ball was coming up miles too far. So there's the second one he's had in the break. That's absolutely perfect. So that's great. And if you're playing all the time, Alan, and you know that's happening, that's exactly what you want.
Again, even with that shot, it helps, doesn't it? You can punch it in properly and know that you're not going to lose the cue ball top side. So
47.
it makes a difference to players of this standard. An awful lot of shots. See, not something we really
48.
want to be talking about, but because we don't want it to be an issue. How long may it continue? The way conditions have been. And Neil Robertson picking up a head of steam here.
54.
Listen, he's not
56.
daft. He's been around the block. He knows he may have got away with one in the last frame of this, with Ken missing that brown. And players know, they can sense it. There's certain parts of matches where you know where your opponent should have gone ahead or pressed ahead and he hasn't done it, and you try even harder than you are doing in the next frame just to make him remember it. Taking these
63.
beautifully well so far. Cue ball's been exemplary.
64.
Already 64 points in the lead. This will put him over the line in the frame, so nothing like winning in one visit, which is what he hasn't been able to do so far in this match. But
71.
Ken's safety shot with a double kiss is going to cost him the frame.
$72.
Play a little cannon off the pink here and take the outside red out of the two if he wants. Just a little flick across. And just dropped it in. Had that shot on if he wanted it.
78. $79. $86. 87.
No reason why now we shouldn't see the first century of this match. And he's taken these beautifully. Just this red in the colour. We'll see him notch that century.
94. 95.
Very impressive.
Beautiful century, Neil Robertson. The red doesn't matter. He'll be in the lead for the first time. 3 frames to 2. Now Ken can just about get through to red. That's a very difficult pot. Yeah, those are not easy when you've been sat in your chair. Added to the interval of 15 minutes, it's probably a good half hour or so, maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah, and the double whammy was the red ran past the other one there. It's come back out into a potable position.
1.
I mean, he just hits those so nicely. As once again another example of that straight cueing. You cannot pot that ball unless you cue through the ball straight.
$8. 9.
Oh, that was beautiful, the control. That's 3 or 4 times today he's landed absolutely perfect on this blue. Into the reds again. How's his luck? Yeah, not great.
14.
Back out of commission to right corner. Can he get through for pink to right middle? That's the question. Potting this loose red. One over the middle. Not a cinch, but not easy to control the cue ball playing it.
This is definitely an example of straight through the ball cueing here. which once again is
15.
not a problem. It really is bolt straight. Looked like nothing those shots, Alan, but
yeah, that was a beautiful shot. I mean, the very fact he's a left-hander as well, to be on the pink and not need the rest shows you the control. If he can just pick his spot here for the next red, could be in business again. Is he playing the cannon at the reds? No, he can obviously pick out one through the little gap, so this is looking promising.
yeah, he's just stepping through the gears at the minute, playing a little bit quicker.
21.
Knows the importance of scoring heavily.
22.
And in this part of the match, he just feels as if he's got Kent slightly on the ropes at the moment.
That's a clever shot. Shows you how well he's thinking.
29.
Again, wants to get the reds opened early.
30.
Just about the top side of the blue. He'll be able to find a way back down to his next red. It's not going to be easy. The reds just loosely spread but covering one another. This is an important shot right here. Finishing a red, the way he's playing, you'd fancy him.
Yeah, just wondering that red that's near the top right-hand corner, or the closest to it. If he just drops the blue and he's left-handed, that'd be okay for him. He just runs the cue ball through. He's going around to have a look at that now. That's the red I would have thought would be the one for Neil. Just leave the cue ball right there, and then just play a thin clip in and come back up down the table and land on maybe a baulk colour. Seems to be the best option at the moment. Well, he's gone on the same line, going twice across.
35.
Sort of played like a 2-in-1 shot there, really, didn't he?
Yes, he played for a choice of a plant or loose red to left corner, but say John, I think he was full in the knowledge that he overhit it.
36.
He'd always been on that red. It was good thinking clearly. One good positional shot away from a bona fide chance win this frame at this visit.
Yeah, we said earlier in the day that one of the breaks that was made by Kenny was sort of scrapping for position. This has been another one here. He's not quite been right for the last 3 or 4 shots in this, Neil. There's another good positional shot required. Now, is he on one?
39.
He's not on the one that's closest to the black on the right hand side, but he's on one above. But once again, got to knock this in because you don't really know where the cue ball's going.
Oh, what a shot.
40.
That is as good as anything today.
Yeah, once again, beautifully straight cueing. Got a choice of green or blue. This goes in. It looks like end of frame. Just gone through the gearbox all of a sudden.
45. 46.
Yes, it's a worried Ken sitting in his chair there. It's
53.
only 20 minutes since he last potted a ball, and And really,
54.
probably 40, 45 minutes since he had any decent table time to speak of.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like he's getting any time soon either.
61. 62.
Playing really quickly at the moment. He's obviously very confident. Always tell when a player's in good stroke. And certainly with Neil, because his shoulders go back and he walks proud as a peacock round the table, and it's very quick and fluent. That's what's happening at the moment.
69. 70.
Not to play any better than this.
77. 78.
Yeah, just beginning to enjoy himself, isn't he? Neil out there. First 3 or 4 frames today were hard fought. Safety
85.
battles. Good single ball potting, but not really the fluency that we expect from Neil. But as John said, he's now
86.
beginning to move through those gears. He is looking good.
It was interesting, a couple of shots ago he could have played and flicked the pink out off the
93.
cushion before, and he ignored it because he wants to make the century.
94.
He didn't even take a chance on that one, he just wanted to make the 100. And there it is. Consecutive century breaks. Extremely impressive. And done in pretty quick time. Superb from the Aussie.
102. 104. 106.
Great to see him playing back like this because, as I say, he's one of the finest players I've ever seen play this game, and when he's motoring like this, he is a handful.
109.
It'll take someone playing exceptionally well to beat him if he does continue in this vein.
113.
Great stuff.
118.
Oh, he's hitting this, Alan. This is a certainty.
Okay. 124. 124 on the frame. Neil Robertson.
102 in the last. A 1-2-4 to open up a 2-frame lead. Neil Robertson leads Ken Doherty 4 frames to 2, and he's looking good.
One.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's what happens unfortunately in sport. When someone's playing so well, they do tend to get the rub, and that is definitely one of those. Missed it by a foot. Straight in the corner. And I wouldn't put past him making another frame winning contribution here. That is tough to take.
8.
Yeah, this game, amazing, isn't it? It seems to have a memory. But what's gone before, last couple of frames, a couple of nice, beautiful century breaks by Neil. It's not bad enough for Ken Doherty that the opponent's playing the way he is. The luck is also on his side.
9.
It's clever, actually, playing for the pink right there. The pink's going to go at the back of the cluster, but not going to hinder Neil in any way. Just clears a couple of reds. Extra couple of shots to just work out the order he's going to take these reds in. Already thinking about the best way to go into the bunch.
$15. $16.
Yeah, a couple of loose reds before he needs to start thinking about that, but once again, that cluster the way they are, off the blue, will be handy. Mind you, he's come a little bit short on this one, so they'll
23.
open a few now. Just about the cannon he gets here. Well, in fact, he can sneak past the side of that pack. I didn't think he could see that at first. That's all right.
24.
He's still got the 2 loose reds before he has to manoeuvre any more balls into play. And it really is this frame all going to be about the split.
29.
I do think though that he's going to be, well, is there a plant onto that same pocket?
30.
I think though he's going to be playing for the loose red. Just similar to the way he was on it a couple of shots ago. Just finish where his thumb is there. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect.
37.
Yep, played it nicely, just about, once again, judging the cannon. It's one of those, you've got to be careful with these, how hard you hit them. Also, make sure you don't screw it off in the middle pocket, which is a possibility. So interested to see which way he does this.
Same perfect, but I don't know if he can actually push the reds into play here. And, he tried to. I just wonder if that plant's still on.
38.
Well, it can definitely be made. Of that, there's no doubt. So it looks like it's all happening here for Neil. He's not only fluked the opening red, he's found a plant as well. How's your look, Ken?
And the other thing is he's going to be pushing the other reds into play and playing this plant. Just set there for the left-hand jaw as we see it, but if the balls are even virtually touched, they don't have to be touching. And he can still manufacture this. Just think, he obviously wants to put it in the middle of the pocket. Yeah, good shot.
41.
Goodness me. Honestly, this frame Ken just wants to put a line through this one. He's had to sit there and look for the fluke. Then there's a plant. The splits come absolutely perfectly. I wouldn't be backing any horses if I was Ken.
It's a tough life sometimes, the life of a snooker player. You're playing a top player in this sort of form since the interval. You don't have to do much wrong, do you?
Yeah, and you can bet he'll be trying to make another century because he likes these sort of things, Neil, where it's, you know, can I make 3 on the spin or 4 on the spin? He's obviously very motivated by the history of the game, wants to win as many majors as he can. Scored all those wonderful centuries that season, didn't he, with over 100 centuries. Just come a little bit straight on this, otherwise he'd have played it already.
It's also very good match play in terms of experience. He's reached a stage of the match here, Neil, where the next half a dozen shots are so important to take him to that 5-2 lead, which you'd think he would, not unassailable, but a very strong position. So he's just making sure, taking his time. He's been fluent, but there are times in a match where you just want to hang back and weigh up your options, and this is one of them.
And that was just, once again, Beautifully played. If that red pot's on the bottom of the pink, that is just, well, superb. And
48.
Well, these look like they're all going to go. Well, certainly enough to get him past the line. He's 48 ahead already. And as the great John Pulman used to say, all he's got to do is mind his work.
As I said, he's just taking his time. He knows how important this visit is. Just keep Ken in his chair. Get the 5-2 lead. Well, he's not on the red as far as potting it direct, but he should be all right 54. Playing the plan. Virtual certainty.
$55.
I mean, even that shot he played to leave himself the plant. He left himself in exactly the right place just to play a little stun cannon to do nothing with the cue ball. Looks nothing, but all the time it's thinking, using his brains.
$62.
Not much Ken can do about this. As you always say about the sport itself, Alan, you know, if you play golf, you've got your own ball. You can make birdie if your man makes birdie, but when your opponent on this game has got the cue ball, you just have to sit and watch, and in this case, suffer. This has been absolutely brilliant from Neil Robertson.
70.
And there's nothing Ken Doherty can do about it.
71.
Chasing centuries again.
78.
Get deep enough into this just to push that red over left middle. He's tried it. Not quite.
79.
Yeah, needs to work on his positional play a bit, I think. Been absolutely superb for the last 2 3/4 frames. Looked like someone who's won 2 of the last 4 United Kingdom championships, because that's what he's done. Great to see him back playing so well.
81. $82.
The only way to get the red out, Alan.
Yeah, I don't think he tried to get it out a couple of shots ago, did he? What a shot that was. Pot and cue ball. Everything working in perfect harmony.
$87. 88.
So, pink, red, and another colour, and that'll be 3 centuries on the spin for Neil Robertson. Absolutely grade A plus today. In
94.
After the interval. I'll just drop this in.
$95. Thank you.
It's 3 tons in a row. Neil Robertson
102.
is flying out there.
104.
Yep, make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. The real Neil Robertson has entered the building.
107.
Hasn't been massively off in his game, but just slightly awry with the way he's been playing. Okay, he's been saying people have been playing good against him, but trust me, he's not been playing this good when he's played them. This is vintage stuff at the moment.
111.
Enjoying himself now out there.
$122. 129.
102, 124 and a 129. Neil Robertson is in a 3-frame lead now. He's one from victory at 5-2.
Well, the red didn't go in, but it's a shake hands time. And the Australian was absolutely awesome after the interval. 3 consecutive centuries and wrapped it up there in the final frame there. Brilliant play from Neil Robertson, the Australian. Ken Doherty couldn't do much about that in the second session. The Australian was awesome. He wins 6 frames to 2.